Juan Sebastián Parrado. Ah, no. Juan Camilo Alba. Profe, una pregunta. ¿Cómo se hace la 11? All right. Let's do number 11 in the board for you guys. All right. Let me first copy the question, and then I'll show you the board, and I'll explain it for everybody. All right. Okay. Let's see. So number 11 says, simplify each expression. Simplify each expression. So number 11 says, it's the square root of 8. All right, let me show you the board. Here it is. Okay, the number 11, the square root of 8. All right. Since we need to simplify this, the first thing we need to understand is that simplification means you are going to have a root at the end of the answer. That's probably it. Unless the answer, the first question, unless the main question had an exact root, you're probably going to have a root at the end of the simplification. All right. So whatever we do, we're going to have a root at the end. So how do we simplify this, the square root of 8? All right. The first thing we need to see is that there is a trick, right? Number 8 can be expressed as 4 times 2, right? 4 times 2. And why did I choose these two numbers? Well, because once I distribute the root, once I do this, square root of 8 by the square root of 2, once I do that distribution, I know that the square root of 4, can have an answer. The square root of 4 has an answer, an exact and precise answer. The square root of 4 equals 2. So the final solution will be 2 by the square root of 2. This would be the simplification. As I said at the beginning, whenever you are simplifying roots, you are probably going to have a root in the answer unless the main question had an exact answer. And we all know 8 is not a square number, so the square root of 8 will be some decimals, right? We know that. So that means it is not exact. It has some decimals. It's not exact. So this needed to have a root at the end, right? And again, why did I know to do this separation, 4 by 2? Why didn't I separate it like this? 2 by 2 by 2. Why didn't I separate it like this? 2 by 2 is 4, by 2 is 8. So why didn't I separate it like this? Why did I have to separate it by 4 and 2? Simple. Because I knew from the beginning that 4 was a square number, and 4 had an exact root. So the idea when you separate the numbers is to find numbers that you know the answer to, right? Okay, so let's leave this over there in the board and jump into the chat, see more questions. All right. Okay, Luna Campo, profe, no entendí el punto 13. All right, let's do point 13 then. Point 13. All right. Point 13. Let me see the question. Point 13 says, simplify the cubic root of -8 times x to the 4th power. Okay. This simplification is absolutely simple. But all you need to do is, just like we did in the first one, all we need to do is try to separate the values that we can separate, right? For example, you might be tempted to separate the 8 and make it 4 and 2. You might be tempted to make the 8 into an 4 by 2. But that would be a mistake. Here's why. Because the root is 3. So if the root is 3, we know the solution of this part. We don't have to separate it by anything because the cubic root of -8 is an exact number. Remember, when we are finding these roots, we are looking for a number that multiplied by itself gives you the thing inside the root. So one number multiplied by itself 3 times, because that is the root, the cubic root, right? One number multiplied by itself 3 times gives you -8. -2, look at this, as if you had this, -8. This will be -2. Why? Well, because -2 by -2 by -2, let me change this for parentheses, there. -2 by -2 by -2, these 3 times, right? 3 times. Why 3 times? Because we have a root of 3. So this -2 by -2 by -2, let's see, 2 by 2 by 2 is 8. And let's see about the signs. Negative and negative, this will be positive. And then positive and negative will be negative. So look at this. The -8 is the root, right? So the solution will be -2 of the first part. So you don't need to express -8 into 2 numbers. You don't need to, right? You don't have to. Why is that? Because we have the solution of the first part. We have the solution of the cubic root of -8. We know it is -2. So far we have this -2 by the cubic root of, let me change this. It looked like an exponent, sorry. -2 by the cubic root, better, of x to the 4. This is what we have so far. This is what we have so far. Why? Because we just did the first part. We just did this one. This cubic root of -8 would be exactly this part. All we have to do now is do the second part. But to do that, now we do have to separate the x's, right? How do we do that? All right. Look at this. -2, this is the same as on top, by the cubic root of x to the 4 can be expressed as x to the 3 times x. I am separating the exponent into 2 parts, 3 and 1. Remember, when there is no exponent, it is implied that there is a 1, right? And if you were to multiply these two, if you were to do this multiplication of exponents, you will need to leave the same base, that makes it an x, and then add the exponents. 3 plus 1 is 4. So we are changing the first thing into a second, but they are the same, right? And now we can distribute the roots. This is -2 times the cubic root of x to the 3 times the cubic root of x. We just distribute the roots. Huh? The first root goes here, and then the second root goes there. Now we can simplify things. This can be simplified. The cubic root of a number elevated to the cube is just the base. So this will be -2 times x. And this thing over here, we don't know the answer. This one has to stay like this. So by the cubic root of x, this thing cannot be simplified any further. So this will be the final solution, right? Number 13 was kind of tricky. It is absolutely easy. Once you get the hang of it, you don't need to do this distribution. You can just do it in your mind. You know 4 means 3 by 1. I'm sorry, 3 times 1. 3 plus 1. So you can distribute the 3 in the 3 and cancel them, and the 3 and the 1, and leave it like that. Once you get the hang of this, you're going to move it faster and faster every time. All right, let's see more questions. Okay. -2. Thanks, mister. No problem. Luna Campo, my pleasure. Whenever you want to. All right, let's see. I guess that's it, right? No more questions. Okay, guys, so continue working, please. I'm going to stop the recording now. And in case you have any more doubts, let me know. At exactly 10 o'clock, we're going to change into a different topic, all right? So you don't have to finish all these questions right now. I know there are several questions, so you don't have to do them all from here to 10. Just do the ones you can, right? If you are good with math, if you are really fast with math, try to do them all. But if you recognize you're not that fast, just do as much as you can and ask me for the ones that you don't understand, all right? At exactly 10 o'clock, we're going to jump into a different topic. So I want you to please, at 10 o'clock, please stop doing these ones. All right? Thank you, guys.